What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I'm Eric, Mr. Cincinnati Robinson, and as always, I'm joined by the podcast dad himself, Chris Hoops. Hoops, how are you, man?
It is that time again. We are interviewing a wrestler, my favorite thing that we do. I mean, I like seeing you, Eric, but I like seeing the wrestlers better. Let's get to
I
it.
get it. Yes, our next guest has wrestled for Higher Ground Wrestling, Time Bomb Pro Wrestling, and Dreamwave Wrestling, where he recently won the Good as Gold Rumble. Welcome, Connor Hopkins, to the show. Connor, how are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Like Chris said, this is our favorite part of the job that we have given ourselves, is getting to talk to wrestlers all over the country and just learning their stories and about what makes them tick. So let's just get right on into it. Here at the Wrestling Junkies podcast, we believe that wrestlers are superheroes, and every superhero has an origin story. So, Connor, tell us your earliest memories of professional wrestling.
Yeah, I would love to. So I actually was just thinking about this the other day, and I think the earliest wrestling memory I have actually isn't until like 2008, 2009. I was kind of late getting into wrestling. I was about 10 years old when I finally got into wrestling, and I mean, once I found it, I was absolutely hooked. And was a fan for years, all throughout high school. I was in all sorts of sports because I was like, once I graduate from high school, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. It was like
Yeah.
set in stone. And yeah, my senior year, a friend of mine called me about this training school that was opening up about 40 minutes from my house. So yeah, a week after I graduated high school, I started training to be a pro wrestler.
Very neat. Very neat. Who were some of your favorites growing up?
Uh, my guys were all like, Punk was huge for me. Edge, I see you rocking the old school Edge shirt. Yeah, man. Jeff Hardy, Taker, but also like some dudes over in TNA. Like I loved Scott Steiner of all people. I love the Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah, so
Very cool.
basically whoever was a top talent at that time on TV.
I like it.
Nice,
I like it.
nice. I watched TNA a lot too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's TNA was awesome back in the day, and they're revamped now, so it should be fun for them.
Yeah.
You've described your wrestling style as 2004 core. How would you describe that for someone tuning into a Connor Hopkins match?
Yeah. So what you can expect out of 2004 core, I basically my guiding principle as a pro wrestler is that the sport peaked in the year 2004. The style at the time then is the peak style of professional wrestling, and so what you're going to see is a lot of striking, but you're also going to see some very technical mat wrestling as well as some good grappling. All done at a high pace and all done in a very, very smart way. I'm all about um, minimizing movement to do more. So I like to utilize a lot of different things together. Like, I mean, if you look back, the pinnacle of this is like your Danielsons, your Shelleys, things like that, where everything that they do is fluid and scientific.
All right. Wow.
I could give
And
a
I'm muted
dis-
again.
I muted. Come
You know what?
on,
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Don't make a whole thing out of it, okay?
Connor. You got to make fun of him too. When he mutes, we make fun of him.
Amateur.
Thank you. The first one to do it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You are the first. Just because he dived on in there, I like it. I'm not going to hold that against you. So you, Christian Rose, Brooks Berna, and Damian DeShane call yourselves those damn coyotes.
Yeah.
Where does this name come from?
Yeah, great question. So I don't remember the exact specifics. I'm sure one of the other guys would, but I remember one day we were talking about because like TDC came about because we all train together, we all ride to shows together, we hang out together. Like we're just four really good friends who also enjoy wrestling. And I remember at the time Rose was called Bad Coyote. That was his like nickname he was going by. And so we're like, well, we're all Rose's minions, Rose's goons. So why aren't we the Coyote Club or, Coyote Clan? And then I just kind of out of nowhere, I don't know how, I think I was thinking of like, actually, actually, I couldn't even tell you where it came from, but it just kind of came to me like, what about those damn coyotes? Like, like some old guy yelling, "Oh, those damn coyotes," something like that. And the name really stuck in a way that I could not have imagined.
I want to
I mean,
think.
it's catchy. It hits the ear. Yeah.
I want to somewhere in my mind, I'm hoping that little Jim Ross was in the back of your head, saying those damn coyotes.
Exactly. That's probably what was informing it. Is I just want to hear it said by like a really angry Jim Ross.
See, that's all I can think of when I hear that. So that's awesome. Recently, you wrestled former WWE Tag Team Champion Paul London and got a big time win. When did you learn that match was going to happen?
Oh, so I won the Time Bomb Sanctuary title in October of last year. And I was talking to the promoter, Time Bomb Eric, about who my first defense was going to be. And I was telling him it needed to be something big, something crazy and out there. And he shot back like, "What about Paul London?" And I said, "Oh shit, okay." Sweet. Yeah, why not? And so I probably found out about that match it would have been a couple of weeks after the October show. So it was probably early November. So I was in my own head and prepping and anxious for a full month before that match.
What are some of the memories of that match that you have? And I don't want to say like your favorite spot or anything like that, but like what came to you after that match?
Can I swear on here?
Sure can.
He beat the fucking shit out of me, guys. I could not believe how hard he can hit. Like, I've been chopped by some of the greats, Like, Mike Bennett has chopped me. Rose has lethal chops that he is known for. Marche Rocket, some people with some heavy hands. I ain't never been hit like that before. I go downstairs and I'm like pissed off because I'm like, this dude is like, just crushing me on everything for no reason. And I get to after the match and I'm still just kind of heated because it was an intense match. It was a fight. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It's up on Time Bomb Pro's YouTube for free. It's insane. I mean, some of the memories that I have from it that really stand out to me, one is mostly getting my ass kicked. But two, Paul London came out singing his own theme song, which is now, I guess, the theme to Thunderball, or it was that evening. Okay. Paul, he's an odd cat. He's a true creative type. He operates on a different wavelength than everyone else. But he also hit me with a garbage bag. There's a lot that happens in that match. It is chaotic. It was supposed to be like an 8 to 12 minute match. And I think the full segment, it's edited on YouTube. You had to be live to see the entire fiasco in person. But I bet that full segment, like curtain to curtain, was 45 minutes.
Holy crap.
Wow. Like, it was an event. So, I have a lot of fond memories of Paul London. In the immediate short term, I was hurt and upset. Not hurt, but in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Did he say anything after the match?
Dude, he was like, I asked him, I was like, "Hey man, did I do something wrong? Like, you're hitting me really hard." And he's like, "No, you were great. You were there for everything." And I'm like, "What the fuck, my man?" And he goes, "Dude, that's just how I came up." Actually, I will never forget this quote. He said, and I quote, "Dude, when I was coming up back in the day, if you didn't mark somebody up, they were embarrassed to go home. That was heat on you if you didn't mark somebody up." And I'm just like, Jesus, dude. He's like,
"Yeah.
As long as you don't go for my face, my throat, or my nuts, I'm fine."
That's fair.
Words to live by.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I took an ass whooping in that match, but I also dished it out right back. And it's led to my New Year's resolution of I'm going to start hitting people real fucking hard because Paul London said it's okay.
Again,
Those are strong
more
words
words
to
to
live
live by. Yeah.
Yeah,
He gave me his phone number. Like, I have Paul London's
Even better.
phone number now. You know,
That's awesome.
it was
Very
a
cool.
wild experience.
Man, that's incredible. That's incredible. And you said that was 45 minutes, right?
The match on YouTube is 24 something. But there was Paul London singing his way to the ring. I make my entrance. He cuts a promo. Then we do ring introductions. We fight for a good while, and then there was a beatdown afterwards and another promo from me. So, like, again, curtain to curtain. Like, Time Bomb Eric said it's okay because he was entertained, but
Sure.
I usually don't try to go over my times that bad.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, as we stated at the beginning of the show, you won the Good as Gold Rumble. I believe that was about 55 minutes in the ring for you, if my research was correct about that. After that match, you emphatically declared yourself the face of Dreamwave Wrestling. What characteristics or traits in your mind do you believe make someone the face of a wrestling promotion?
I think more than anything, it has to be somebody who represents what that company is going for in the way that they are presenting their product. Dreamwave is about really good wrestling, but it's also about the characters. It is about personality. It's about having that ability to connect with everybody. It's something for everyone. And I'm declaring myself the face of Dreamwave because, I mean, first of all, it's a good-looking face. I am the handsome coyote for a reason. But aside from that, I can go in the ring. I've got the look. You can bring me home to your mom, and I won't offend. I do great with parents and kids, too, you know? There's something for everybody. And so I think that's what goes into, you know, all these people are going to claim that they're the face of a company or whatever, but they're not on the posters. They're not on the social media. They are not promoting the shows actively. They're not being the face of a company is like being an influencer. And so no one was stepping up to do it, so I figured I would take the reins.
Can't
I
argue.
like it. No
Can't
notes,
argue
yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
So you and those
I've got
damn
that good media
coyotes.
training as well.
Yes,
There you
yes,
go.
do. Yes, you do. You and those damn coyotes will be taking on AEW's own Mike Bennett and the Hype on February 10th. Any words for your opponents?
I said a lot before my last match with Mike Bennett. I talked very candidly about how Mike Bennett and the Kingdom are the reason that I ever got into independent wrestling. I had no idea what Ring of Honor was until I saw an Adam Cole match. Those are my guys. If you look at me, you're going to see a lot of stink lines of the Kingdom. And frankly, it's pretty full circle that the Undisputed Kingdom is the biggest thing in wrestling right now. And those damn coyotes, a humble faction of 4 guys from Illinois who like to drink beer and gamble and fight. And I'm going to make sure that we beat one of the top talents in the world. Plain and simple. I mean, it is AEW superstar Mike Bennett. Thumbs up there. It's AEW superstar Mike Bennett and the lineal Dreamwave Tag Team Champions. Like, if we can beat them, there's no reason why we shouldn't have all the gold, why we shouldn't have the keys to the kingdom. And, frankly, why people still dispute the fact that it is our valley.
Okay. All
right.
Strong words.
Heard it here first,
words.
yeah.
I feel very strongly about this match. Me and Mike Bennett have been under the radar feuding for like the last 6 months or so, starting with our match in August. So, yeah, It's getting a little personal to me.
Watch out, Mike. Watch out.
Seriously. I mean, I enjoy seeing what he does on social media and how he uses his platform to, lift others up and to be positive and to create this true sense of self and authenticity. And that's something that you have, set for yourself as a goal in 2024 is to be the most authentic version of yourself. Do you sometimes feel that authenticity is lacking in character development as people rise through the independent wrestling ranks?
Absolutely. And it's kind of a double-edged sword because people are lacking authenticity in maybe some areas that would actually make them good. You know, there's a lot of bad wrestlers who are trying to pretend to be something they're not. You know, for every, Undertaker, there are a million guys who, put a mask on and act all spooky like. And that's not authentic to who they are. They aren't that person. They aren't that guy. And sometimes the reverse goes as well. Like when people are allowed to lean into a little bit more of another side of themselves that they don't get to express very often, I also think that like there are some things lacking there, like where people could start to lean into look at what Warhorse is doing. Warhorse has tapped into a part of himself that is incredibly real, that is a stark contrast to the rest of his work as Warhorse. And now all of a sudden he has overnight made himself like the talk of the town on the indies again. It's things like that where people need to be more authentic and realize when it's time to change things up.
Sound advice.
Yeah.
You recently tweeted, "Be remembered in professional wrestling." What do you want to be remembered for in 2024?
I want to be remembered in 2024 as the person who came out of nowhere and took wrestling, at least in the Midwest, by storm. I want to go from, oh yeah, I think I remember seeing that guy, to, oh shit, Connor Hopkins is going to be here. And I think 2024 is the year that I can do that. I'm planning on making some pretty big changes in my life coming up soon, and it's all focused on wrestling right now. I've got a lot of really good momentum to build on. Dreamwave, there's some really awesome things coming down the pike. But at the same time, Time Bomb is doing great things with me as well, and that I'm very excited for. I might be having my first no-ring death match this year. Like, there are some things that I have never done in my wrestling career that I want to knock out of the park this year. Because if it happens, I'll be a 7-year overnight sensation, like, and that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm shooting for, at least. It's important to have ambition, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you're not going to get any argument from us. We are hoping that 2024 is a big year for us as well. But you kind of glossed over something. What the hell is a no-ring death match?
Yeah.
You've never seen? Okay.
I don't think I've seen a no ring. No.
I've never seen a no ring.
I can't believe I'm the one explaining no ring death matches. Okay. So there's no ring, and there's always a bunch of weapons and things, and you basically fight until one person can't go anymore and either gets pinned or choked out or
Interesting.
But,
I've seen plenty of death matches, never without a ring. So
Time Bomb Pro. That's actually how they started. They started as a no-ring deathmatch company, and they still actually they just held a show after their December show. It was like a double shot weekend. It was really fun. They had Nick Gage and Ultramantis Black on this show.
Okay.
But no-ring show. Put a tarp down and go for it. And that drew like 350 people, I think the paid attendance was there.
Nice.
So,
Well,
I think Time Bomb really is. I shouldn't even say onto something. They are making something really special, a blend of both worlds.
Okay, well, I know what I'm going to watch after this.
Yeah. Seriously.
If you like deathmatch wrestling, you'll probably also enjoy no-ring death matches.
Okay. Yeah,
I've been to a couple
definitely
death
got my
matches,
attention.
and now I want to go see one of those. So
Yeah.
It's fun.
Love it. Connor, as we kind of wrap up the interview here, we've spent the better part of 20 minutes talking about you and those damn Coyotes, but we want you to now take this time to spotlight any names that we should be looking at on the independent scene right now. Who should we be following?
Ooh. Obviously check out TDC, because why not? Got to plug the brand. But also, two of the guys that we're facing in February, the Hype, 12 Gauge and Hunter Holdcraft. As much as we are going to battle back and forth like Hatfields and McCoys for the rest of time, I'm very proud of the progress they've made. Hunter is like just over a year in. I was in like his 8th match a year ago. So, like, yeah, he's still super new and has all of the talent that you could possibly ever ask for. I can't say enough good things about the guy. He also wrote my workout routine, which is why I'm looking in decent shape these days. No, I think those two, especially, from Dreamwave. Florida Man is another one. If you haven't heard of Florida Man, you are missing out.
Okay.
He wrestles for Dreamwave as well. He is a menace to society, and that's not even a gimmick, brother. He is just a menace. And he's not even from Florida originally, or ever. I don't think.
Forever.
He's very dubious. And then in Minnesota, there are a couple of people that I would definitely keep an eye on as well. Brandon Gore being one of them. Free Range Kara for sure. Badger Briggs up there. There's a really good crew of talent in the Twin Cities that I would love for them to have a little bit wider following, branch out a little bit and see some more folks. But yeah, I have a whole bunch of friends. The Premier down in Kansas City, making my St. Louis Anarchy debut here on the 26th, where myself and Christian Rose are facing Anakin Murphy and Zach Sawyers. If you haven't heard of Anakin Murphy, he's also another one that you should keep your eye on. Yeah, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of people. Like, everyone wants to argue about East Coast versus West Coast, who's got the best wrestling. The answer has always been the Midwest. The Midwest has been holding it down since the beginning. Like, between Chicago, Minneapolis, Fargo, but also all of the thousands of small towns of 1,000 or less. Wrestling is very, very strong in the Midwest.
Hey, as two Midwest guys, we can agree with you. So,
Yeah.
An ongoing debate that we have on this show, and that I'm going to ask you, is Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker. Settle to the debate.
I mean, I'm not even going to pretend I have to think. It's Shawn. Dude, it was Shawn. It's always been Shawn. He's the GOAT. He is the man. He is the absolute legend. His name is of the two people that you named, they only call one of them Mr. WrestleMania. The showstopper. The main event.
The icon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Fine.
Thank you. No, hey, you decided to start this fight. I'm just going to finish it. That's
all I'm saying is when you think of WrestleMania, you think of The Undertaker. That's my only
You
argument.
backed the wrong horse, my man.
Yeah, heard
I'm okay with the horse I backed.
I will admit that I did have to give it a little bit of thought because the streak is so iconic. But also, the reason I won't give Taker the Mr. WrestleMania nod is because he's also very memorable for a lot of things outside of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, when you think of the spectacle, you think of Shawn Michaels riding down on the zip line or coming up with the thing,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I respectfully disagree, but we all have our opinions.
Yeah.
And I'm right.
It's okay. And this debate will continue to rage on until the end of time. So
Because I am hard-headed.
Yeah, you are. You're
Anyone
not
who
wrong.
likes wrestling has to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is right.
Connor, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you've mentioned a couple events that you've got coming up, including your St. Louis Anarchy debut. But what else do you have on the docket for January, February, and where can everybody find you on social media?
Yeah, so coming up, January 26th, I'll be at St. Louis Anarchy in Alton, Illinois. Spalding Hall, making my official main card Anarchy debut. Finally, it's been on my goals list for years, and I'm finally getting to do it with one of my best friends. So very excited about that. The next day will be at EWA out in Iowa. And then coming up February 3rd in Eau Claire, Higher Ground Wrestling returns to Eau Claire finally, which I'm really excited about. Pro Wrestling Battleground, obviously. Check out Rocket Pro Wrestling in Joliet. And And then you can find me online on Instagram and Twitter at Connor Hopkins 98. Merch sites are linked there. ThoseDamnCoyotes.com. Look up Those Damn Coyotes. Check us out on YouTube and whatnot. Yeah, all the plugs, all the things. If you ever want to know what I'm doing or thinking at any given moment, just check out my Twitter because I still use that like it's the hotness.
Okay. Well, we look forward to checking that out. Connor, thank you again for joining us. Make sure to follow him on social media. Make sure to check out what he's got going on over the next couple of months. Have an awesome 2024. Thank you for joining us. We'd love to have you back on the show. For Connor Hopkins, for the podcast dad, I'm Mr. Cincinnati, and this has been a special edition of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. And we'll talk to you guys soon.